What's up, everybody? Robert Broadner here, host of the Ones Rising podcast, here to introduce to you the YouTube version, podcast number 104 with Dallas Dental Bay. That's right. Angela Amazon joined us on the podcast, and man, it was a great one. So, hope y'all enjoy it. We missed the first 5 or 10 minutes because I forgot to hit the record button, but we got most of the podcast, and man, it was awesome. So, thank you, Angela, once again, and hope y'all enjoy it. From the top. It wasn't recording, but now we're recording, so the YouTube version will have a special shortened version of the podcast. So we have Dallas Dental Babe here, Angela Amazon doing a little reset. What did I just ask you about the content that you post?
Right, it's not planned.
And it's not any rhyme or reason.
No.
And the podcast that you do is about culture and current events and just women of color, growing up in Dallas, Oak Cliff, and we talked about Procella. Procella. So Procella was an awesome event. First and foremost, I want to give you big props on that. I went out there with the sole purpose of going out there and just taking pictures, and I wanted to write an article. I thought it was not going to be recording again. I want to write an article about what was going on. It was just a really awesome atmosphere that you created. Man, that video not recording really threw me off.
Yeah.
It did. I've never been thrown off in a podcast before. Shout out to Dave for catching that. What are some of the challenges? I remember now. So you said that you don't feel like posting on your Instagram it doesn't do anything. So you really try and keep the stories up. I was going to say that I've noticed that.
Yeah.
And why do you think that is? Because I feel like I want to try and do more stories and not as much posts.
I feel like what creates more attraction is like reels.
Yeah.
Reels go a long way. Instagram posts just don't. And I've asked people they tell me your stuff just doesn't come up. It doesn't populate.
Right.
So, I mean, you would have to literally sit there and tell people, add me to your favorites, because that's an option now where they can go and add you. But I don't want to sit there and be like, add me to your favorites, because it just doesn't feel, if you want to add me, cool, but I'm not going to sit there and ask you to add me.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You mentioned reels, and I feel like reels do, because if you can put together a real good reel, you can get over 1,000 views easy.
Easy.
So that's something I've also tried to concentrate on. Do you also deal with TikTok as well?
I've tried posting to TikTok, and it's funny because my TikTok is not really all dental. I just post whatever, and my posts with Julian in them do better than my actual dental posts.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, this is not my TikTok. This is Julian's TikTok.
Yeah.
So.
Man, I can't believe he's 15 now. I remember when he was little. 6 or 7 years old.
No, probably younger. I think he was 3, 4.
Because we've known each other for a long time. Since how long? Since when?
2009?
2009, 2010? Knew the same mutual friends and just, that's cool, man. Representing Oak Cliff.
Met him at a party. I think it was a house party for him.
Yeah, it was a house party because...
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, why don't people throw house parties anymore?
Martin Perez was there.
Yeah.
And he is who I did a boot camp thing with. And I think that was the first time I met you in person.
No, you know what? I think the first time I met you was at a club, and you were a photographer.
Oh yeah, I was a photographer at a club.
Yeah, because you took a
Club
picture
Thrive.
of me and Ashley, and what's her name, Denise. I remember you made a comment. You're like that I looked like I wasn't having fun or something. And I was just like, oh no, this is just my face.
No way. Yeah, I used to get paid to take pictures at Thrive on Fridays and Saturdays.
It was Thrive.
Man, that was
a long time ago.
Long time ago. It's crazy that we're in our 30s, and I don't feel like it's crazy to grow up in this time where we're in our 30s, but we were around when social media really first came out, and we were 18, 19, 20. And I was thinking about this the other day. Okay, I guess we can keep using social media, I'm like, when I'm 40 and 50, I guess I'll keep using it, but it's so new, I asked myself, well, should I be using it? I'm like,
yeah,
I was the first
absolutely.
one. I was one of the first ones to use it.
We were the first ones on there using. We were coding on MySpace.
MySpace, yeah. I remember my song on MySpace for a long time was "Booty Booty Booty Rocking Everywhere" by Public Man, such a long time. And you went to UNT as well.
No, TWU.
TWU.
So yeah.
And you studied biology.
Biology, chemistry, minor in sociology.
Nice. Does any of that help you with what you deal with today?
Definitely. So understanding all the chemicals that I use, knowing how they react, really has helped me out a lot.
And it seems that, and I trust your word and post on this, because I feel like you be putting knowledge on people who don't be doing stuff in the dental world the right way.
Right.
Because you can really fuck yourself up
No,
like not doing shit the right way.
It's a real thing. Like,
what is something that you see that's common that people like do the wrong way? You're like, oh no.
with just even teeth whitening alone, they try to mimic, I guess, like what the correct way is, but they're still not doing the right way. So it's like, what's the point of even putting a barrier around the gums if it's not even on the gums?
Right.
Or covering the gums. It's like, you're still burning them. You're still burning the gums.
They're burning
the gums, yeah.
Wow. So you can burn your gums from doing
from
teeth
whitening. Yeah, you can burn your gums with doing teeth whitening at home on your own.
Wow.
Like with pressed rice strips, you put them too far up, you press, it burns your gums. It's considered a chemical burn, but it's not like a burn, but it still hurts.
It reminds me of
you still have to care for it like if it was a burn.
Reminds me of the people out there doing the plastic surgery, not the right way, and then they end up with,
like botched.
Huh?
Botched.
Yeah, like a butt that their butt cheek may turn flips or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, people do basement type of work. There's basement dentistry too. That's what it's called, basement dentistry. So the new thing that people were doing is composite veneers. I don't know if you saw. I went off on the composite veneers. I was like, this is insane. People are putting the composite material that we use in dental offices, and they're not going to a dentist, so they're just covering up like anything and anything. Let's say you had a cavity and you're like, it's ugly, I just want it covered.
Right.
That's the worst thing you could do, is cover up a cavity. It's like, it's going to blow up. You're going to need root canal. It's going to have to be extracted, not to mention everything else that's going on. So you pay $2,000 for cheap veneers.
Yeah.
You end up spending $10,000 to fix it.
Just covering up a cavity.
You cover for just covering up a little cavity that would have cost you $150 to repair.
Dang.
It's insane. Yeah. But it's all, and people are just not informed.
Yeah, I just want to try and get that quick fix.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned on your podcast with your friend that y'all have, you talk about some of the challenges or things that women of color may face. What are some of those challenges that you see you may face? And being a business owner, what are some of the challenges that you see, and how do you overcome them?
I mean, mainly I guess it's just being a woman of color in business and how hard it is to maybe get into like certain rooms or get certain attention.
Right.
Those are maybe the kind of issues I face. I know her, Taylor Crumpton, shout out. She works for D Magazine. She's an editor. And she has her issues that she goes through with even working in that field.
Right.
And just being a woman of color and just being a woman in general.
Right.
How hard it is to,
What is some advice you have for women out there that are wanting to make their mark in whatever it is that they may be? What's some advice that you have for them that has helped you in your journey?
I feel like people hop on trends because they think, oh, this is making a lot of money, I need to do that. But what you need to focus on is finding something that you love to do and get paid for it.
Right.
Whatever it is, you love plants, start selling plants.
Right.
Like that's just what I would think of. Like if I just had I was obsessed with plants, or well, what can I do? And start posting about it, educate people on it. And there's just niche things for everything. So people will follow you. Your audience will find you.
Nice. As far as Dallas Dental Babe goes, do you have? I know you say things just kind of fall into your lap.
They do.
Even though you operate like that and that opportunities come that way, is there?
I feel like I manifest things and they kind of just find their way to me.
Okay.
That's the best way I can describe it.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad you said that because, so you manifest things. Is there anything that you're manifesting now that you would like to foresee in the future for yourself?
Sure.
And what is that?
So I'm coming out with my own line of products, whitening products, toothpaste, floss, you name it. And I'm already it's going to be at Ulta. It's not even a question. I'm just it's going to be sold at Ulta.
Hell yeah.
That's just one store that I'm thinking, but I'm thinking all stores. You go to Target, you'll see it. Walmart, it's there.
Nice.
So that's what I see. And I don't even see it as if, or it's just a matter of when. And that's how I manifest things.
Hell yeah. And how do you balance, because you are a full-time manager for a band that's up and coming in Ricky Ray and the Goons. So how do you manage, doing, holding so many hats?
I don't even, like I said earlier, I don't plan things out. I just kind of like get started throughout my day, and I'm like, oh, I need to go make a post on Ricky's page. Oh, I should post this. Oh, I need to go post that. And it's just like all over. I just fit it in wherever it is. It's a job, so I just feel like it has to be done. Right. It's not a like, oh, I'm not feeling like posting today. No, it's a job. It has to be done.
Do you set goals or write it down, or it's just?
Yeah, I set yearly goals. I do 5-year goal, 10-year goals. So I actually just found my 5-year goals from, because I'll write them out and I put them away. Mm-hmm. I found my 5-year goals from 5 years ago, and I'm just like, oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm where I said I was going to be.
May I ask what they are?
It was start my own company, make a certain amount of money, living comfortably on my own, and taking care of Julian. So it was like, yeah.
That's awesome, and I want to give you like mucho props on that, because you are a full-time mom, and there are a lot of full-time moms out there who aren't able to do that for whatever reason, but you are showing people and women that
is possible.
It is possible. So props to you.
And not just a mom, but like a special needs mom too. It's like I know it feels impossible, but Julian gets a lot of love on my page.
Yeah.
Whenever I post stuff like, what do you guys want to see more on my page? Half of those are like, Julian. We want to see Julian. Yeah. Where's Julian at? What is he doing right now? And I'm like, wow, like, Julian, you got fans.
He's good people, and he knows he's got a good mama.
He goes to work with me sometimes, and people, if I post that he's there, people will literally show up with hot Cheetos for him. Oh, I saw he was here, so I brought him a bag of hot Cheetos. I'm like, thank you so much.
That's awesome. My dad's a special needs teacher, so like I've gotten to like understand, that being autistic. I mean, it's he tells me like these kids are really like.
They're smart.
Super smart. It's just that it's a matter of
communication. Social.
Yeah. My dad's he's just always been really good with kids in general. So when he first signed up to be a teacher, maybe 15, 20 years ago, he didn't know what type of teacher he was going to be. And they needed someone with special needs. So he did that. And he told me, he's like, I remember the first time he said he saw these kids, he said, I was a little afraid. Mm-hmm. He said, but once you sit down and talk to them, they just want somebody who's able to communicate and listen to them, and once they find out that you're on that level with them, they really trust you. Mm-hmm. And they're just super intelligent. It's just another way of communicating.
Yep.
Wow. I remember when I think you posted when Julian said finally was able to feel comfortable enough to say words. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I know it's one of those things where maybe to someone else they're like, oh, he finally said a word and you're excited. And I was like, we celebrate every single new word.
Yeah.
Now he's starting to say names of like people around us, and I'm just like, you can say.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's because of the love that y'all show him. Mm-hmm. He feels comfortable being able to open up. That's really cool. And man, he's tall now.
Yeah, he's like, well, he's 5'8", so he towers over me. I'm 5'4", so. That's I call him my gentle giant, because he still acts like a little kid. Yeah. Like mentally, he's still about like 5.
Yeah. And
he's very loving, so he's just like a big old teddy bear.
That's what's up. Whenever you post him, I try and show him some love, and you tell me he gets all like excited with that. Mm-hmm. So that's dope.
This year, I mean, because Julian he's in Molina High School. He's a freshman, and like I always say, like his classmates are his friends, but really, Julian really doesn't have friends. He's a loner, he hangs out with us. He likes adults.
Right.
And so I had posted, like, if anybody wants to send Julian a gift, these are, I put an Amazon wish list. We had so many gifts. They bought out everything. Like, I went to we have a delivery room, and I had to load up the little dolly. It was like to the top. This guy even stopped me. He was like, are you delivering packages? And I was like, no, these are all mine.
Wow. And when he's at school, do you worry, or do y'all have like a routine, and Julian he may be a loner, but he kind of does his thing, and does he kind of, do you feel his energy after school?
Yeah, he loves it. So I know that he's being treated well, and even when I walk him in the hallways, sometimes I'll have kids like approach me. They're like, oh, Julian's really nice. I like him. And I'm like, I appreciate that, you know? So it's like, I feel like people are more aware, even kids are more aware of the special needs kids, and they're gentle with them.
Yeah.
As far as I know, because if not, I told Julian one time, I was like, on the first day, I was going, if anybody messes with you, I will come up here.
Yeah.
And we'll whoop their ass. He was just like,
He started laughing.
Yeah, he was like, okay, Mom.
I think that's good that people are nice to him, and I think it's good that the awareness for kids who have special needs has grown. Just as mental health has grown. So I think that helps out a lot, because I remember being in elementary school.
People were mean.
Yeah, people were mean. And we had a class like where it was like the special needs kids, and people didn't really know how to respond to, a kid that wasn't just like them,
Or they would say the R word a lot.
Yeah.
Heavily. Now everybody's like, you don't say the R word.
yeah, and that's something I used to always say all the time.
Yeah, I did too. But it was just like like in conversation, you didn't really use it until then you got older, and you're like, oh, that's actually not a word we're supposed to use.
Yeah, same here. I had to learn that as well. That's cool. That's cool. So for Ricky Ray and the Goons, I've told you this a lot of times on social media, in person, and every time I see you, every time I get a chance to tell you, they really have a lot of talent, and yeah, Ricky Ray is awesome. He has the makings of a superstar, and you can really can feel that he has the support of everybody else in the band, and they support each other. And not only that whole music community that they're involved with, they help out other bands.
They all help each other. And you have a show, we're showing up.
Yeah. Well, how do you think that comes about? Because in music, I feel like a lot of times you see that there can be a lot of hate or jealousy just within one band, but for a whole community to really pull around each other.
I think it's everybody helps each other out. So I know Ricky goes and does music stuff with some of the other guys. They need help with writing music or mixing, whatever. I don't know the full terms of producing and all that. They help each other out, and I think that's it's a mutual respect type of thing.
How do you think that came about? Is it because they knew each other before?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of these guys we've known. Yeah, we've all grown up together, since high school. Since I mean, I know a lot of them are a lot younger than me, so I've known them because of Ricky. So it's just growing up together. Isn't
it weird how we feel like OGs now?
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm young.
Well, I mean, we're close to the same age. And when I was out there and asking people's ages, I'm like, dang, y'all are under 30 or
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm an OG, man.
I remember I took Ricky to a show there in Oak Cliff, and I was like, come with me so you can meet some of my friends. There's a lot of music people that maybe you can, chat with. And he went with me, and he was just like, everybody here is old. And I was like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Yes, we're 35 and up, okay? But these are the people who are doing things, okay? So be nice. He was just like, wow, everyone's old here.
It's funny we're seen as old, but like I said, we were the first ones to use all this stuff. I was thinking the other day, before TikTok, we had Vine and we had other things that we would use, and we're the pioneers.
Right, yeah, we're the pioneers. Put some respect on my name. I've been here.
Do you see Ricky Ray? Do you see Ricky Ray and the Goons? I feel like there's a point now where they can, maybe go on a local tour or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be one of those things where I know Ricky's not going to feel comfortable, and I'm just going to be like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And we're doing it. That's it.
Like a local tour, maybe Texas.
Texas at least, yeah.
Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana. I think all it would take is just you calling.
I think the best compliment I received recently was one of my friends who's in local press, and she was saying how much she loved Rose Colored, and she's like, this song is so good, and she's like, I just feel like you guys just need that one person to put you on. Yeah. And that's all it's gonna take.
That's it.
And we're like, well, yeah, but where are they at?
Yeah. It just takes. You just got to keep on plugging and keep.
And that's what I tell Ricky all the time too. I'm like, hey, some bands take forever, 10 years.
Yeah.
Don't ever lose sight of
How old is Ricky?
He just turned 27.
Oh, he's young.
He's still little. Yeah.
He's young, and that's awesome. Now I'm glad this just popped in my head. You're doing the music, you're owning the business. You're also going to be in a movie at the Angelica.
How that happened, it's funny. I never even thought that was even going to be a thing. Like I said, things fall in my lap. I don't even know how this happened.
Yeah.
But it was my friend Brian. That's who directed that film.
Brian Savion.
Yeah. And so he's always, since they were in high school.
He's hilarious.
He is hilarious. Him and all his friends, they're all hilarious. So they had been filming little skits here and there. They were posting them. And he had said, we're making a series for YouTube. This was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
2019. And I remember I was talking to him, we were texting, and he said something about we were going to record today, but the girl that was supposed to do a scene with us, ended up canceling last minute. And I was like, well, what is it about? And he told me, and I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I was like, what time? I could be there right now. And so I literally just did it. And then when I saw that it was coming out and it's going to be playing at the Angelica, I was like,
isn't that crazy?
Is my scene in there? And he was like, yep. And it's even on the trailer. And I was just like,
I saw it.
My big debut on the big screen.
That is wild. At Keys Park.
Yep, at Keys Park.
They won a award
for best film.
In
I
the
forgot
Austin
what it was,
Film Festival
comedy.
or something like that?
Yeah.
Man, that's dope.
It was cool, yeah. And my scene is very small, but still.
It's small,
like,
but
I'm in a movie.
you know, it's a scene. You know, someone sees that scene and they notice that you're doing the business thing, and you know that could be a role in a major movie one day. Would you pursue something like that? If
I'm
it was
down.
perfect?
I would be down for that.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So I like to ask every guest 3 questions because you know we talk about the guest and what you're doing, but I like to have a little bit of an icebreaker. I normally have the same 3 questions, but I'm going to try and mix it up today a little bit. So only because you told me what y'all talk about on your other podcast. You talk about current events and things that are going on in the world. What is something that you think is going on in society right now that you're like, man, that's not the way that needs to be going, and here's my opinion on it, or here I think this would be a better way of this to be taken care of?
I feel like there's an attack on women right now.
Yeah?
With banning abortion laws. What else? What else is happening? I was right before we started. I just saw something that said there was a tampon shortage.
I saw that.
Yeah,
so just little things,
where they were like,
right?
I was like, she's like, I don't have a uterus. Right, honestly, yeah. There's it's in the baby formula,
yeah.
and then now it's like tampon. It's like, oh.
So I feel like it literally feels like an attack on women. Like, why are y'all doing this? Like, so y'all want us to have the babies, which, by the way, how do I say this? What's the word I'm looking for? Neutral on the subject. If you want to have an abortion, cool. If you don't, it's fine.
It's up to you.
Me personally, if
it should
it's
be up to the
me,
person.
I wouldn't have an
woman.
abortion, but also your body, you do what you want. But it's like they want us to have these babies, but there's no way to take care of them. Like, it don't make any sense. And then recently I heard one of my clients was telling me that one of her friends had a baby and the full term and everything, and the baby passed away right at birth. And then she said that she asked her, can I still claim my baby for, like, at the end of the year? And she was like, no, unfortunately you can't. And I was like, that should be a thing. Why is that not a thing?
Yeah.
Y'all say that the baby is a human right from the start.
Right.
We should be able to claim the baby from the beginning.
Exactly.
And especially even for her, who suffered a loss of a child at birth, that should be a thing. That is just my opinion on that.
No, that's...
Also, me goes into politics. Running for president, 20. But
I mean, politics is such a big word that people think that you can't change things. Like, no, everything you said is right. You know, women should have a right to do what she wants with her body. A woman should have a right to be able to go buy baby formula and buy tampons. Why are these things a shortage?
Why
of all
are
the
of a
things,
sudden, like right now, it just feels
of
like...
all the things to be of a shortage, those are the things.
Sometimes it feels like it's like the beginning episode of, what is that one show on Hulu? About the women, The Handmaid's Tale. I'm like, this feels like The Handmaid's Tale. Like, what is happening?
It really is. In a kind of way, it is. And I have relatives that are women, and they feel the same way that you feel. And I think it's bullshit. You know, it's horrible that we live in a country that's supposed to be so amazing, and it is. But we have all these things where we shouldn't have these issues of women trying to fight for rights. It's 2022. You know.
Even the latest thing too that I saw was with the school shootings and all that. But they just banned what was it, drag shows or something to do with drag shows. I was like, oh, I'm so glad we were able to take care of that. But the other issue at hand,
that
one
shit
that
got taken care
matters,
of real quick.
Yeah,
they saw videos of someone doing a drag show and like, oh, we need to ban this.
We
shit
need to ban this right now.
Yeah, it's fucking up the kids.
But not the shooting of the kids at the school.
Right. And now, although the way the drag show, the video that I saw, I mean, I don't think it is wise to take a kid to just
a bar.
Like, hey,
yeah,
look at this drag show.
Yeah.
Like, because if someone wants to be gay or like dress like that, fine. But if you're straight, I'm not taking my kid to go watch like a strip club.
Right. Yeah.
You know. So I think there are different levels, but to turn back to what you were saying, yeah, we have shooties going on every day.
Where children are
and it
actually
seems like
in danger. This child is not in danger at a drag show.
Right. When things get brought up, people will get confused. Oh, I don't know, I don't know. We could, there's steps that can be taken to make things safer. Have psychological evaluations for people before they buy a gun.
Yeah.
I can go.
There has to be more steps to all that.
Exactly. And living in Texas, we got the people who say, "Oh, this is my right. You can't take my gun." Mm-hmm. Man, that's bullshit. Yeah. There's got to be a better way, and it drives me nuts that we just keep doing the same shit over and over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I did see that, and I could be wrong, but wasn't there something put into place where you can't be 21 and buy an automatic rifle now? Is that correct? Or automatic weapon?
They changed the age.
The age to 21.
21 is still not.
And that's great, but you can't be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and be able to go buy a gun, because there's crazy people out there, man. Mm-hmm. It's scary. It's scary. I tell my kid all the time, you got to be aware of your surroundings, and it's like, man, raising kids in this world, man, it's
a crazy time.
It's a crazy time.
I don't know. I always think about my childhood, and I don't ever remember. I remember just doing tornado drills.
Stranger danger.
Stranger danger, yeah. But it was never like, okay, now we're gonna, practice in case there's an active shooter.
Yeah.
What?
Or even just kidnappings and people just being crazy in general. Because I remember being able to play outside and be outside for hours, and now I feel like you can't.
You can't do that.
You can't let your kid out because there's
people that would snatch your kid up.
Yeah, and
in broad daylight.
Broad daylight, it's scary to even think the stuff that happens in the world. That's kids get snatched up and they're gone. And that's a real thing. It's wild to me. So that was a different icebreaker.
Right. That was
when you hear the other questions. Because I want to try and get more deep in these podcasts. Because now I work for a corporation. I want to be able to talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. You know what I mean? I'll give you a light one on the next one. So, what's a favorite restaurant that you like to go to, or where do you like to go eat?
Bishop Arts. Everything and anything Bishop Arts.
Yeah.
Just because I live there.
Yeah.
And everybody knows who I am there, so it's cool.
I was at Coco Fire and Ice today.
Oh yeah? I don't go that far down that often.
No?
Mainly it's like Paradiso, Casablanca, Texas.
The new area.
Tribal.
The new area of Bishop Arts.
Written by the seasons already.
Yeah. Coco Fire and Ice is good. Mm-hmm. I recommend it.
The drinks are good.
Yeah. Do you have a show that you're watching right now, or a movie or series?
I'm actually watching a lot more TV right now. It's funny you say that because last summer when Julian was gone, I felt like I had my first real summer. And I say first real summer because I know a lot of people gave me a hard time about it. They're like, oh my God, you're out every day. And I'm like, do I have to remind you guys that I've been a mom since I was 19?
Yeah.
And I went to school. I was helping my parents out. This is my first summer without a kid. Let me enjoy myself.
Hell yeah.
I was outside every single day. I just couldn't be home.
Yeah.
No. But this summer, I'm just like, nah, don't invite me. I'm gonna be at home. I'm watching Netflix.
What you watching?
I'm in bed.
Netflix?
I'm working. Well, my goal this summer is just to work the most that I can. So I just finished Stranger Things, the new season. I was upset with how it ended. I wanted more.
Is it worth me starting back again on season 2 and watching all of it?
Yes.
Okay.
This season was a lot darker though.
Okay.
It was scary. I don't like scary stuff, and I push through. I don't like scary stuff.
Well, good job on pushing through.
I did.
Right. And there's one more season, right? Is there another season after this?
I think there has to be. The way they left it, there's going to be
2 episodes in July.
Oh, really? Oh, that makes me happy then.
Nice.
Okay.
July 1st.
Nice.
The way they left it, though, I was just like, when is the next one going to be released? 2 more years? Because I think the last one was 2 years ago.
It's it feels
the
like
kids are all grown now.
Yeah,
they're
all
like 25
old
now. They look it, right? I was like, are these really kids? And then I also started watching this Mayan documentary on Disney. I don't know.
Wine documentary? Mayan documentary.
Yeah, I'm really interested in ancient civilizations.
Have you ever gone to the Mayan ruins?
No, I haven't. But I just went to Guatemala not that long ago,
which
is Mayan heavy.
You got to see some of the stuff?
Mm-hmm. It was cool.
I've seen some of that too. Isn't it surreal? Like when you're there, like wow, there was a whole city here.
Well, when we went to Tulum, oh my God.
Yes, that's where I saw it before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were walking through because everything's roped off, right?
Right.
And we're walking, we're taking pictures. Next thing I know, security is running across it's illegal for you to try and walk up and touch anything.
Yeah.
Ricky ran up to the one of the things, and he was like standing there, all like, look at me, and I was just like, Ricky!
Oh no.
And they like threatened to like put him in jail. And we're like, ya los vamos, todo está bien, nada pasa, todo está bien.
Damn.
We're good. We like ran out of there.
I
we
went to
had
see
run
those
out
as
of there.
well, yeah.
But I was just like, Ricky, what the hell? He was just like, something just told me to run up there.
It was a full city there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's real cool. Did y'all go into the cenotes as well?
Yeah, so we went to the
Hell
cenotes. And they were like, oh, so the Mayan people used to believe that these were, ways to get into the underworld. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was like,
because before there was no water there before, and now, man, I love the cenotes so much.
It was cold.
Oh yeah.
Super cold.
But it's so beautiful. Like, did you look down and you could see, like,
yeah, you could see.
There, you don't see an end.
No.
It just keeps going.
It's crazy. So something that I learned last night while watching the Mayan documentaries, it was about dental. Yeah. And I was just like, I'm gonna use that.
What'd they say?
I do the dental trivia questions. So, people of Native American, like if you have Native American in you, especially like down south, Mayan especially, your molars have 3 roots.
Okay.
And that's how you know if you are of like Mayan descent.
Wow.
So normal people only have like 2 roots. But if you have 3, that means you're Native American.
I feel like I'm Mayan descent, and I'd get that verified. Is there a way I can do that?
Do your ancestry, your DNA ancestry. I did mine, and I have like 60% Native American. Okay. So, and then from where I'm from, it's actually Mayan people, Mayan descent. So
where are you from?
Cool. San Luis Potosí.
Is that where you're from too? That's what's up. Y'all like the same skin color.
we a little pasty. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about because we're going to the pool tomorrow. He's like, yeah.
I don't take him.
Yeah.
No.
When he gets in the water, like it's over.
Oh, really? Yeah. You need that.
Sorry, Dave. I don't know if that was personal.
Yeah, we're in my watch this hand up.
So, I also like to ask every guest. This is something that I'd ask you before, and this I'm going to kind of change this up a little bit. So, if there was something that you could do for society to improve it, what would that be?
I can't even think of anything. I just feel like everything's messed up.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things to choose from. That's
free
for sure.
healthcare for everyone.
That'd be nice. Free healthcare for everybody. All right. Now, if you had a saying that you could put out to the world, it could be a quote that you know or whatever, something you make up. What would you put out into the world that everybody would see or hear?
It's ponte las pilas. If you know what that means.
What does that mean?
Put on your battery.
Put on your battery?
Yeah. Get going. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever is holding you back, just get going.
I like it.
I'm always saying that. Ponte las pilas.
Ponte las pilas.
Or I'm tired. Ponte las pilas.
That's true.
Let's go.
Keep it going. That's
I want to do this. Okay, we'll do it.
Well, Angelique, it's been a pleasure.
As always.
And I appreciate you for coming on the podcast, and I can't wait to see what else is in your future. I think it's
what else will fall in my lap. We'll
just
see.
keep on going up. All right. Appreciate y'all, and we are signing out. See y'all later.
Bye.
All right. Good job.
Bye.
Good job.